So Germany is a huge magnet for Indian students and professionals, right? But let's be honest, the journey to actually making it there is often filled with a ton of friction. Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating new ecosystem called German Baratham, which is designed to smooth out those bumps and turn a challenging move into a thriving new life.
The entire project is really built around this one big idea they call the German dream. Now, this isn't just about getting a visa and finding a job. It's much bigger than that. It's a three-part vision. First, hitting your full professional potential. Second, genuinely improving your family's quality of life. And third, becoming a positive, contributing member of German society. It's a really holistic, kind of 360-degree view of what success actually looks like.
But of course, there's always a gap between the dream and the reality, isn't there? For so many people, that initial period after moving is just tough. It's a journey packed with significant, and a lot of the time, totally unexpected challenges. The founders of German Bartham knew this, and they wanted to figure out exactly what those challenges were. So they didn't just guess, they went right to the source. What you're looking at are the results of a survey they did with the Indian community in Munich. They pulled about 250 active members, which allowed them to get past just stories and anecdotes and collect some real, hard data on the biggest pain points people face right when they arrive. And the results are, well, they're crystal clear. While you might think about things like language barriers or bureaucracy, those issues are completely dwarfed by two fundamental needs: finding a place to live and finding a job or internship. At 129 and 126 votes each, it's obvious that housing and employment are the first, most critical hurdles that absolutely have to be solved. And that data, that became the bedrock for German Bartham. You know, what started back in 2021 as just a small WhatsApp group for some researchers in Munich is now being built to scale into a full-on national network. It's a structured support system designed specifically to tackle those core problems we just saw. Now, the really crucial point here is that they're not starting this from scratch. That's the smart part. It's built on three existing organizations that already form this powerful pipeline. You've got the Next Gen Scientist Foundation, Scholarscape, and LifeScience.club. Together, they create this ready-made pathway, taking people from being a student all the way to becoming a professional. And here's how all those individual parts click together to create a complete ecosystem. You can literally see the flow from someone aspiring to come, to their arrival, to becoming an established professional. German Bartham acts like this central landing pad, catching people as they arrive and plugging them right into this supportive network for community, integration, and everything else. So, how does it all actually work in practice? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. The whole initiative is broken down into a very concrete four-pillar plan that's designed to directly tackle those challenges we saw in the data. And these four pillars cover, well, pretty much everything. It kicks off with a digital infrastructure to get everyone connected. Then it moves to integration solutions, think housing and finance. After that comes career support for professional growth. And finally, social well-being, to create a real sense of belonging. It's a complete 360-degree approach that really addresses every part of the newcomer's experience. I gotta say, their digital strategy is particularly clever. They totally get that you need both large-scale communication and that close-knit local support. So they use Facebook as the national town square for the big announcements that everyone needs to see, but then they use decentralized WhatsApp groups for that high-engagement, day-to-day help in specific cities and states. It's a perfect blend of macro and micro. And here is where they directly attack that number one problem: accommodation. One of their flagship goals is to build a system where new arrivals can pay their housing security deposits in Indian rupees. I mean, this is an absolute game changer. It solves a huge cash flow problem for students and professionals who haven't even had a chance to open a German bank account yet. Okay, so what about the second biggest hurdle? Jobs. Well, the plan outlines a bunch of targeted initiatives for that, too. This includes creating career groups for specific industries, organizing informal language cafes to practice German, setting up mentorship sessions with senior industry leaders, and even building official partnerships with companies that are actively hiring international talent. It's a real multi-pronged attack on career development. Now, a great idea is only as good as its execution and its ability to actually last, right? So let's take a look at how German Baratham is structured for long-term sustainability. This is about moving beyond just volunteer enthusiasm to create a real, lasting impact. And this part is key. This isn't just an informal, ad hoc group. They're putting in a formal organizational structure. Each regional chapter will have a dedicated president for operations and a vice president for marketing. This makes sure that tasks are handled professionally and reliably, which is just crucial for long-term success. This quote from their white paper really gets to the heart of their sustainability plan. By treating today's volunteers as the talent pool for tomorrow's leaders, they're building a merit-based pipeline. This ensures there's a constant flow of motivated leadership, which prevents the whole organization from just fizzling out over time. It's a brilliant way to build a self-sustaining community. And they are definitely not stopping there. They've got a super ambitious vision for the future, and it's broken down into 3 phases. Phase 1 is developing their own tech, like tools to verify housing ads. Phase 2 is about deepening economic integration with things like job fairs and entrepreneurship programs. And finally, Phase 3 is expanding the entire model to neighboring countries in the Dutch region, which includes Austria and Switzerland. It just shows how big they're thinking.